What's up, dudes? I'm the Dominicator, and in this video, I'm going to hypnotize you to become macho. As in all of my videos, you'll be commanded to leave a comment at the end while hypnotized, so go ahead and log into an account that you can use for that. Mute any distractions, and continue when you're ready to get hypnotized. Alright, dudes, so to begin, look at the spiral in front of you, the very center of the spiral, and just listen to the sound of my voice. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, then you'll find that it has such a wonderful, warm, dominant, and masculine tone and texture itself. And there's something about it that is dripping and dropping down, that feeling, that sense of a wonderful, warm, and dominant masculinity right on top of you and right on top of the surface of your mind. And there's something about it that just feels so good. Something about it that just begins to impart all of the good and positive qualities of masculinity right onto the surface of your mind. And as they trickle down and drip down and drop down inside of you, they become even more of a part of you. The more that you just listen to the sound of my voice, the more and more that you feel that feeling of masculinity, and just drips down and drops down into you. It seeps down into your mind, into the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. And it just feels so wonderful and so good. You can feel it becoming a part of you. A wonderful, warm, and masculine, dominant, and a sporty vibe, a tone and texture that drips and drops down onto your mind and onto your body as it becomes a part of you. And there's also a feeling of heaviness about it. A feeling of heaviness on top of your mind. A feeling of heaviness on top of your body. A heaviness that builds up even more with each and every single word that I say, and each and every passing moment. And yet there's something about it that just feels so wonderfully pleasant, so nice, so good. As it happens, and the more that it happens, the more that you also feel a sleepiness that begins to wash over you. A wonderful feeling of sleepiness and washes, and that crashes over you. That just feels so good. It feels so good just to have that wonderful, warm, masculine, dominant, male authority figure. A coach, a mentor, a master, who can tell you exactly what to do in order to get into that nice and masculine state of mind. And the more that you do, and the better that you feel, the more that the mind learns, that the brain learns, that this is a good thing to do, that it's a good thing to be. And so, just so easily and just like that, you can just so easily slip down, drop down, sink down, float down into an even deeper, and even more relaxed, and an even more passive state. And that just feels so wonderful and so wonderfully good. In a moment, in a little while, I'm going to click my fingers together, and I'll say the word sleep. When I do, then your eyes will just snap shut as your mind shuts down. As you go down, as you drop down, as you sink down, as you snap down into an even more relaxed and passive state, in which you'll feel even more of that wonderful trickling, dripping, dropping feeling of the masculinity in the tone and texture of my voice, as it drips and drops down onto you, as it becomes a part of you, as you feel that feeling of masculinity just well up and build up inside of you, even more with each and every passing moment than with each and every word that I say. It just feels so nice, so wonderful, so wonderfully good. And as you drop down into an even deeper state of comfort, an even deeper state of comfort and relaxation, it also feels more comfortable. It just feels more and more comfortable. The more that you feel that masculine feeling, the more comfortable that it feels. The more comfortable that your mind becomes with it. The more comfortable that your body becomes with it. Then the more comfortable that you are just being a masculine dude. Well, that just feels so good. And then it becomes so easy to drop down, to sink down, to snap down with the snap of my fingers in that word sleep. Now, sleep, sleep. And as you just go down, drop down, sink down, and snap down even more, even further, and even faster into that wonderful, warm, relaxed, masculine state of mind. That just feels so good. And that just feels so good as you feel the words of your coach, your mentor, your master, just twisting, turning, morphing, shifting, shaping the insides of your mind as they turn you, morph you, shift you, and shape you into even more of a masculine dude. Now that just feels so good as it happens. That just feels so good as you become even more just naturally masculine, even more comfortable with it. And it feels as if there's something that is changing inside of you, twisting inside of your legs and the muscles and muscle fibers of your legs even. A change to the way that you walk, and a change to your gait. A change in your confidence as you put one foot in front of the other. There's a a feeling of more confidence and a feeling more assertiveness in your stride. A smooth and a slow walk projects so much more confidence and so much more masculinity as you just walk along with a sense of purpose. And there's something about walking in this way, in this fashion, that just feels so good and so much better than any other way. And you feel with each and every single step that you take an increasing, a building, a rising feeling of a comfortable, of a healthy masculinity that just feels so good to feel. It feels so good to feel that when you start to walk this way, you'll feel all the other good and positive traits and qualities as they just snap into place inside of you. They'll just snap into place inside of you, and they become even more natural, even more comfortable with each and every single step that you take. There's something about it all that just feels so good to feel. Part of being masculine is all the traits and behaviors, the walk and the talk, but another part of it is the journey. And the more that you take these steps, both literal and figurative, the more that you'll feel a feeling of comfort, a feeling of that masculinity, a feeling of the good and the positive masculine traits becoming a part of you, and exactly what it feels like to be a man. And you'll also feel changes, bits and pieces, parts of your voice begin to change as well, as you become even more comfortable with a lower pitch and a lower tone of voice, a kind of gruffness in your voice. As you fall, as you drop, as you sink, as you flow even deeper into an even more relaxed state of mind, you can feel the pitch of your voice just lowering even more. You can feel the sound of my voice as it drips, as it drops, as it trickles down onto you on the surface of your mind, as it wraps around your vocal cords and around your voice, as it turns and twists and morphs and shifts and shapes your own voice into the voice of a much more masculine dude. Now, there's something about it that just feels so good, that just feels so nice, a wonderful, tickling, tingling feeling that just spreads, that courses all throughout your body, all throughout your mind, each and every single time that you speak like a more masculine dude. There's something that just feels so much more natural, that just feels so much more comfortable about it, that it becomes second nature to you. It just feels so wonderful, so wonderfully good, and so relaxing. It gives you a feeling of confidence, a feeling of even greater confidence with each and every single time that you simply lower the pitch of your voice. And then it becomes so much more comfortable and so much more natural to you that after a while, you won't even think about it at all. You won't even think about the way that your voice has changed at all. It will just become a complete and total second nature to you. And in that way also, all of the good and the positive masculine traits, the good and the positive masculine traits that make a good masculine man, they also become a part of you. You can feel traits, you can feel those positive qualities as they just seem to drip and to drop down onto the surface of your mind and just to seep into you, into the core of your being. There's a kind of assertiveness and a confidence that you feel, a confidence about all of the competencies that you have, all of the things that you are good at. All of those things that you're competent at, they warrant a feeling of pride, a feeling of assertiveness, a feeling of confidence. You can feel that feeling as it builds up, as it rises up, as it wells up inside of you. There are things that you are most definitely good at, and being good at those things warrants a pride in them. It warrants a pride and a confidence in them. And at the same time, having humility about other things makes you an even more of a masculine dude. There's something about having just that right amount of confidence in the things that you can do that make you even more of a masculine dude. There's something about embracing that humility that gives you and fills you with a sense of dignity. There's something that just feels so good about that as it spreads, as it courses all throughout your body, all throughout your mind, as it turns you into even more of a masculine dude yourself. There's something about it that just feels so good that it becomes even more natural for you, even more natural with each and every passing moment that you hold those values. Something about that just feels so good as it just drips, as it drops, as it sinks into you, and as it becomes a part of you completely and totally. You can feel a calmness that spreads throughout you, a kind of stoicism that spreads throughout your mind, a feeling of calmness about everything around you, about everything in front of you, and that feeling of calmness, that feeling of collectedness, it makes you feel even more like a masculine dude. There's something about this feeling of calmness that just becomes so easy, so much easier to acquire than anything else. As you sink down, as you float down, as you drop down into even deeper states of relaxation, the more that you do, the more that you feel that calm and collected, cool feeling as it becomes a part of you, as it just bleeds and sinks into your very being. The more that you feel and that you humor that good, that nice, that calm, collected, and cool feeling, the more that you'll feel even more like a masculine dude. No matter what it is that lies in front of you, any kind of challenges, any kind of judgments, anything at all, the more that you feel that nice and cool, calm, collected feeling, the more that it just makes you feel even more like a masculine dude. And that's such a good thing to have pride in. Well, the more that you do, in fact, have pride in it, the better and better that it feels to just be a good, calm, collected, and masculine dude. And the easier and easier that it becomes just to have that nice, cool, calm, collected framework with each and every single challenge, each and every single problem that you face. And as you take that feeling of calmness, that feeling of coolness, that feeling of collectedness inside of you, as you take that good and nice, that proper assessment of your own competencies, all inside of you, it just makes it so much easier to be self-reliant. And there's something that just feels so good about being self-reliant. Something that just feels so good about being able to get things done by yourself. Something that just feels so good about being able to get things done with your own competencies and in a nice, cool, and a directed fashion. Something about that just makes it feel so good. A feeling of self-reliance, a feeling of self-control. A feeling of self-reliance and self-control, and that makes you feel even more like a masculine dude. With each and every single time that you humor that feeling, you do, in fact, become even more a masculine dude as you become even more self-reliant and even more self-controlled. That all just feels so good that you can feel a nice, a wonderful, a tingly feeling that just courses, that just spreads all throughout your body, all throughout your mind. It just feels so good being an independent, self-reliant, and masculine dude. Something about that just feels so good. And as you have all of those good and all of those positive earlier qualities, that coolness, a collectedness, a feeling of self-reliance, a feeling of competency, and all the things that you're good at, it just makes it so much easier to be direct with the world around you. It just makes it so much easier to be direct and to be assertive with the world around you. You feel secure in all of the things that you can do and all of the things that you're good at. You have a calm and a cool, collected head, and you also have a feeling of self-reliance. And with all those good and positive qualities, it just makes it so much easier to engage with the world around you. It just makes it so much easier to stand up for yourself. It makes it so much easier to state your mind. It just makes it so much easier to be stoic, to be cool about any of the judgments that happen to come your way. It just makes it so much easier to be just a natural, cool, calm, collected, and self-directed, masculine dude. There's something that just feels so good, so nice, so wonderful, so pleasant about that. That the more that it happens, the more that your mind, the more that your brain learns that it's a good thing to do, that it's a good thing to be. And with that feeling of assertiveness, with that feeling of directness, with that feeling of coolness inside of you, it has a kind of air, a kind of mystery about it, a kind of feeling of such competence that it gives you a leadership quality, a kind of charisma that just seems to emanate from you. You can feel that. You can feel that as it happens, even more with each and every passing moment. With each and every single word that I say, you can feel a wonderful, warm, and masculine, and dominant charisma that drips and drops down to the surface of your mind, and then courses and that spreads all throughout you, and that becomes a part of you. All of those good, all of those positive qualities, they become a part of you. And with all of those good and positive traits, with all of those good and positive qualities, it just makes it so much easier to honor your values and to act with integrity. It just makes it so much easier to be a good masculine dude. And in fact, the more and more that you are a good masculine dude, the more that you act with that honor and integrity, the more that you feel that wonderful, that good, nice, positive feeling of a masculinity that just courses, that just spreads all throughout your body, all throughout your mind. It just feels so wonderful. It just feels so good. It reinforces all of the good and the positive traits that you have. And also, last but not least, you can feel the value of strength, of physical strength, as it seeps down, as it settles down inside of you, as it becomes a part of you. A drive and a desire just to want to get into the gym and to hit the weights. And drive and a desire to just want to perfect your body and to get into a better state of health. There's something about it. Something about each and every single repetition of each and every single set of each and every exercise that you do. That just makes you feel even more like a macho, masculine dude. And something about taking in the commands to do that from such a wonderful, warm, dominant, masculine master who you follow and obey. Something about that just feels so good, so wonderful. What better way to learn this feeling of masculinity and all these traits of masculinity from a masculine dude himself? And that just feels so good. The wonderful, warm, and masculine, dominant feeling that just circles around you, around your body, and around your mind. Something that just pulls you, draws you, and sucks you, magnetizes you into the gym, into any place that you work out, to hit the weights. Something that just feels so good whenever you do, in fact, pick up any weight at all, dumbbells, barbells, and no matter what it is, handles attached to a machine, or just doing calisthenics with the floor. There is something that just feels so good about getting into that initial position. Something that just feels so good about tensing your grip. Something that just feels so good as you feel the awesome, wonderful, warm feeling of a strength surge inside of your body, inside the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. That awesome feeling of strength that you build up and that you increase with each and every single repetition of each and every single set of each and every exercise that you do. You can feel all the good and the positive masculine traits as they sink, as they settle into you. As they move from your body into your mind, you feel your gait changing. You feel the way that you walk. As it becomes even more confident, you feel the pitch of your voice lowering. You feel your voice changing. You can feel your mind shifting, morphing, twisting, turning into the mind of a much more secure and masculine dude. And there is something about that just feels so good. It's as if just lifting those weights, it gets you into even more of that headspace. And there's something about it that just feels so awesome, that just feels so good, that the mind learns, the brain learns that it's a good thing to do. It's the perfect thing to do, to feel even more like a masculine dude. And the more that you do, the better and better that it feels. The easier and easier that it becomes just to have a routine each and every single day where you do some sort of weightlifting, some sort of activity, and where you manage and you count your calories. There's nothing better to feel the feeling of self-control, to feel the feeling of competency, to feel the feeling of a cool and calm collectedness as you end each and every single set that you do. The wonderful feeling of the cool and clean air, the oxygen coming into your body, and just purifying you, your whole body, as you breathe out all of the toxins, all of the poisons inside of you. It seems to turn you, to morph you, to shift you, to shape you into even more of a masculine dude. That just feels so wonderful. That just feels so good. And finally, to top it off, having respect for other masculine dudes is a good feeling to have. A good feeling to have as it causes your mind, as it causes your brain to learn, to take in all those good and positive and masculine traits and qualities, even more and even faster. And especially respect for that wonderful, warm, masculine, dominant master hypnotist who has placed, inserted, installed all of these good qualities inside of you. And so in a little while, when I count you up from 1 to 5, then you're going to leave a comment for me out of thanks for Master Dominic. Now, it'll be a free-form comment where you can write whatever you like, as long as you thank Master Dominic for hypnotizing you to become a more masculine dude. Well, that just feels so good. As you leave that comment, you'll feel all the good, positive, wonderful masculine traits as they seep into you even further and even deeper as they become even more a part of you. Now then, I'll count you up from 1 to 5. Now, beginning with 1, as you feel a nice, wonderful lifting, a rising, floating feeling that takes you back up into the waking world. And 2, coming up even more. It just feels like the wind is carrying you back up. 3, already halfway there, and just feeling great. 4, almost all the way back up now. And 5, eyes open and wide awake. Alright, my masculine dudes. Check out Dominicator.com to schedule a session with me to get hypnotized, to check out my digital downloads, or to commission a recording from me. Catch you later, dudes.